welcome to Viewpoint from Overseas. I'm your host Faraz Darvesh. Today we will first discuss the French election which are upcoming, and we'll see what is the result expected out of French election. And then we will take the flight to South Asia where we will discuss the current issues happening in Pakistan, such as the establishment of JIT on Panama case, and we'll see where will this JIT take us, and what are the repercussions of if the verdict of JIT is negative. And then we'll discuss what's happening between India and Pakistan, and it looks like several kids of Pakistan who were visiting India, they've been returned back due to security risks on them in India, and we'll see what these kids have to do on these political issues that's been happening between two countries. And then at last we will discuss the Afghan forces fighting in Pakistan and killed census workers in Pakistan, and we'll see what will be the outcome of that of this new development as well. I have with me Riaz Haq Sahib and then Ms. Azam. Riaz, tell us what do you expect in this upcoming French elections?
So for background, the French elections are usually held in two rounds. If in the first round, if none of the candidates are able to get more than 50% of the votes, then there is a second round where the top two candidates have a runoff, and the one that gets more than 50% wins the election. So in the last round, the top two candidates that emerge are Emmanuel Macron and the far-right candidate Marine Le Pen. So the second round will be between them. It's noteworthy that in the first round, all of the established candidates of the parties, the parties that are on the right and the left, particularly the socialists and the conservative parties, they all lost. And these two are sort of outsiders. Macron is not, as a young man, he's not, he just started a party just last year. He didn't have a political party before that, even though he served as the economy minister for the socialist government of Hollande. But this particular round, in the second round, the polls, almost all of the polls are indicating that Macron has a significant lead. Emmanuel Macron has a significant lead over Marine Le Pen, the far-right candidate.
And what is the data or the data is telling us?
Well, the last figures I saw were, I think, 63% for Macron and 37% for Le Pen.
Thank you. Ms. Ba, what do you?
Yeah, so far it seems that Emmanuel Macron is winning over 20-point lead, but as you
But
see,
we have seen US election, all the polls were wrong.
That is correct. So I am not too much, I have to wait until 7.
You're not too much confident on the poll results.
That.
Okay, understood.
We have to see that, how it would come. Interesting thing happened that President Obama, US President Obama, also had a video message, and he endorsed Emmanuel Macron, as a president for France, and that will have some impact on it, especially over there, the non-white population. Basically, they probably.
What is the percentage? If you have the data, what is the percentage of non-white population?
It's about
in India?
15%.
Yeah.
15, which is pretty significant, right?
Yeah.
And what is the percentage of Muslims in France?
I think it's like 4%.
4%, which is still
5%.
much larger than the Muslims in America.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Right.
That's true, percentage-wise.
Yeah.
That's true. No, actually, that would, so some of the data say it's around 20%, somewhere it says 15%, so I don't know exactly. Anyway, so that would have some impact on that elections, and we will see that how it comes out. But really, as far as polls are concerned, I'm not too much trusting on that. We have yet to see that, because right-wing people usually don't talk too much. They just go vote. So that is the thing that because last election, Marie Le Pen has very little margin in elections. However, there is one of the right-wing candidate. He was he had some charges on some corruption charges, so he's out from that race. And the idea was that since he's conservative, so his votes would go to Ms. Le Pen, but it seems it is not happening, at least so far. We have yet to see in real elections.
Okay, so over to
let's talk a little bit more about this. There's a lot riding on this election, coming after Brexit and Donald Trump victories. There's a lot of concern in Europe that if Marine Le Pen wins, there could be several serious problems. First, the Islamophobia is going to be...
Which will rise further.
It rise much more because there's a large Muslim population in France, and Marine Le Pen is very anti-Muslim. The other thing is she's also anti-Europe. She wants to pull France out of the European Union. They're talking about Brexit. The other issue that they have, the Americans obviously are also concerned, and NATO is concerned, is that she's also very friendly with the Russians. In fact, she's had she's actually borrowed a bunch of money from the Russian banks. So these are some of the biggest concerns.
She herself borrowed.
She has from Russian banks. And she's very she's talked favorably about Vladimir Putin, the Russian president. So these are some of the big concerns
which are not good signs for America.
Yeah, that's why I think President Obama decided to actually endorse Emmanuel Macron via a video message. So the stakes are pretty high in this particular election. Now, the expectation is that the majority of the French would vote for Macron, not because they love or like Macron, but because they want to block Marine Le Pen. All of the other candidates that ran in the first round, except for one, have endorsed Macron against Le Pen. The biggest concern, though, is that since the voters are not particularly excited about Macron, they're voting basically against Le Pen rather than for Macron. There's not a lot of excitement, and some of them may not turn out. So that is the fear that still exists, that the polls might turn out to be wrong if people fail to show up to vote.
Right. Misbah.
Yeah, pretty much.
You endorse what Riaz said?
No, he's right.
But one question I have.
Yeah.
Do you have Mr. Donald Trump here in America, and if she wins, what implication do you think it will have? Because between her and Donald Trump, people have been comparing both of them alike.
Yeah, so those are the comparisons.
Right.
But
America is also changing.
Yeah, but I think in America there is such a strong established policies. People often talk about Pakistan where, the military is not letting Nawaz Sharif make a deal with India. Well, here, Trump wanted to make a deal with Russia, and the military and the United States establishment is not letting him do that. So there is establishment that exists in all of these countries, not just in Pakistan. It also exists in the United States, it exists in France, who want to maintain the current policies, particularly as far as national security is concerned.
Misbah, do you agree with this?
Well, the thing is that there is no comparison. The way Pakistan military does all foreign policy, everything, they control it, and there is no comparison. Obviously, establishment, I do agree to that extent that establishment has a lot to
But
say
over there, the level of
foreign
magnitude is
policies.
much higher than what it is in
correct.
US and other
That's
countries.
true,
Okay,
so.
I want to shift the gear and let's go to in Pakistan and then discuss the controversial Panama case, which has been catching the headlines. The JIT request came out as part of the verdict from the Judicial Commission, Now, what does this JIT look like? Riaz, tell us about the JIT and then tell us where do you see this case going? It will consume another 3 months, and then we may come, come to the end of the tenure of Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. Where do you see this going?
Yeah, so they have picked members of the joint investigating team. The Supreme Court three-judge panel that has been assigned to oversee this investigation has picked these individuals from the FIA, the Federal Investigating Agency, the ISI, military intelligence, as well as NAB. Mm-hmm. And they have a state bank representative and the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, to look into financial matters. But my concern has been, still is, that I think these people lack the independence and the skills required for this kind of investigation. I mentioned earlier, in the last time we talked about it, that in the United States, FBI has a tradition of being very independent of the government, even though the FBI director is picked by the government. FBI director reports to an attorney general who's a political appointee. But they still exercise a lot of independence in pursuing. Okay. Right now they're investigating President Trump. The other thing that FBI has is about 15% of the FBI agents are forensic accountants by training. Okay. So they know how to go after financial crimes, white-collar crimes, which is not the case in Pakistan. So it's going to be very, very difficult for them.
Then it will become ambiguous.
Conclusively establish, what happened and what didn't happen. So I think it's going to be very, very difficult. At the same time, I'm concerned. I think Pakistan is a very low-trust society right now, where the trust in the institutions is extremely low. That people always question, are these guys really going to do it? So I think that's one of the problems that will haunt not only this JIT, but also the Supreme Court. People are going to say, oh, these guys are going to, on both sides. If it goes,
it will become controversial.
If it goes against Nawaz Sharif, they're going to say, "Oh, these guys, accept."
We're so loud to
pressure from Imran Khan. If it goes against Imran Khan, then the PTI folks are going to say, "Look, we told you that they will never touch Nawaz Sharif." So I think that's my biggest concern, that regardless of which way it goes, that it will be controversial.
Misbah, over to you.
Interesting thing happened today. The Chief Justice, he says that he showed anger that, like some of the politicians, they are going out and saying all 5 judges has already declared that Nawaz Sharif is quote-unquote thief or something like that. So he said that... the liar, yeah, that's true. So, so he was angry on that.
So what do you see as the, where do you see things going?
So basically what he said that if any time anybody says that they would be taken to the court and they will be tried for the, contempt of court. So obviously that is one thing. And before that they told that nobody will be discussing this issue out in the court area, So, the controversy, like let's talk about this controversy coming up, but controversy already started. Now, people from both sides, they are also kind of taking out things in their favor. Like Nawaz Sharif supporters are saying, first time when Imran Khan's was going on, then everybody was allowed to say whatever they want and nobody stopped them. Right. But now, since it happened, you put the, even some very top really independent analysts, I would call them public intellectuals, even they raised this point that why judges has to say that. They should let it go.
Why don't Prime Minister resign?
Yeah, I think it's interesting that in Pakistan there's no tradition of a Prime Minister resigning there.
Well, is that the example?
They're basically forced out or they're voted out, they don't resign. But one of the things that is a distinct possibility, see, whenever you start investigations, it's a risky process for the people who are being investigated for a number of reasons. But the biggest reason is that when they start looking, they may find things that lead to other questions and other investigations after that. And these investigations usually occur with the person who's being investigated being interrogated, being asked questions, being asked to give deposition under oath. Now, if they lie under oath, if they say things that turn out to be wrong, to be false, then they can get in trouble for lying. And that is a distinct possibility. I mean, remember what happened with Clinton here in the United States.
Sure. Right.
The investigation against Clinton by Kenneth Starr started because they wanted to look into Whitewater. They found nothing in Whitewater. But while they were investigating, they found that President Clinton was having an affair with Monica Lewinsky. And then he started to ask questions. He did a deposition of President Clinton about this issue. And at that deposition, President Clinton lied under oath. That's why he got in trouble. That's why he was impeached, even though the conviction didn't happen, but he got in a lot of trouble because of that. So those are the kinds of concerns that Nawaz Sharif needs to worry about, because if they ask him questions and he's not honest and he lies under oath, he could be in a lot of trouble.
Okay, so let's move to the second. Let's move to the second topic, Misbah. I'm going to start with you. India returns Pakistani kids due to security reasons and concerns in India. So, what are the Pakistani kids visiting India or Indian kids visiting Pakistan? That should be happening at all time, not at the at kids level, but everyone should be, people should be visiting their relatives across the border. Why is such an animosity happening? Why is such an extremism that somebody will even kill or harm these kids?
No, actually the thing is that it happened in October last year. The same group was coming, but last moment they decided not to do some border tension and all that. And Indian media claims even this time also due to the reason of those quote unquote molesting the soldiers by Pakistani soldiers on the borders. That's why they did.
Mutilating.
Mutilating. They just, they would get there by 9:30 a.m. and by 12 they found out this is happening. This happened. I mean, happened or not, they don't know. They claimed it happened. So basically that was the whole thing, that they sent them back because of that reason. However, they still went through a lot of places like Connaught Place, they went to different areas and all that. And the NGO who was doing this arrangement, they are saying that, well, we will do it again later on sometime. So Indian media is not saying it is security reason. They say that, well, it could be, you can say that security, maybe government, that's why I asked them, but I think it is more than just security reasons, and they just, India wants to kind of show something, that, prove something that, okay, they did that, so we have to do it. We have to retaliate it and all that. So, and like I told you in October, same thing happened. So I agree with you, Faraz, that it is very unfortunate that we are going to...
Such incidents are happening, and we're going to this level where kids could be at risk. Riyaz, how do you see this?
Yeah, I think there were threats. Shiv Sena was threatening that they'll harm the kids if they're allowed to continue the tour. So they had specific threats to which they responded. This was an NGO that had invited them to visit India as a part of cultural exchange to try and promote peace between the two countries, which I think is a very good idea. I mean, oftentimes when you have a lot of political and military tensions, these kinds of human contact, people-to-people contact can help diffuse these issues. But I think India is in the grip of very serious problems right now that are driven by the extreme right Hindu nationalists. There have been several deaths of Muslims who have been targeted by what they call Gau Rakshaks, the cow protection squads. In fact, the problem has gotten so bad that recently they have actually killed some Hindus as well, suspecting them of being Muslim. And you know, one incident I heard about was that there was a truck driver who honked at some cows on the street.
Yeah.
And they took him out and they killed him. And it turned out that the poor truck driver was not even Muslim, was actually Hindu. So this craziness that we have seen in Pakistan is happening in India as well.
Well, instead of learning lessons
from
other side,
use some excuse to go kill somebody, right. Based on that. So I think there are some serious problems. And by the way, Prime Minister Modi hasn't spoken out against any of it. So a lot of these groups that are extreme right-wing Hindu militant groups that have been around for a while, they're feeling more emboldened. They think they have a license to do whatever they want. And with the appointment...
So he is in a way condoning whatever they are doing?
No.
In my view.
Yeah, by not speaking out.
His
silence is a problem.
Silence is
and then he appoints this guy Adityanath,
right,
who is known, the Chief Minister of UP, who's known to have used similar kind of language against Muslims. So that is the fear. I mean, I think they need to wake up, the Indian people, that this could lead to very serious problems. I mean, we've had problems in Pakistan. Now they're headed in the same direction. Some people are even comparing Modi as, they're calling him India's Ziaul-Haq.
Or Indian Taliban as well.
What we saw in the 1980s. So I think that's the kind of issue that we have to worry about. This is just what happened to the Pakistani kids. It's just a symptom of a much bigger problem.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, India overall is a progressive society. I mean, they have never...
Well, not anymore. I mean, this is what you've been thinking for a long time, but the reality is changing very, very rapidly.
That's correct. I mean, the news coming out of India is not very good.
Right? I mean, and how it changed in 10 years. Did you see?
But those seeds are there. Yeah. These people are there who can create trouble.
Well, these are the people who killed Gandhi.
Exactly.
That's correct.
They've always been there, but now they're probably getting empowered.
And they killed thousands of people in Gujarat, Muslims in Gujarat.
And see, that happens, that in every religion...
And Babri Masjid, remember that. I mean, there's a very long list of riots that have occurred.
And these people are not just, harmful for Pakistan or Muslim, they are harmful for
their Indian society itself.
Indian country, right?
That's true, just like in Pakistan.
India as a country is at risk because of these individuals.
See, every religion, they have a fringe, which is very motivated, but they don't have power. In Pakistan, General Zia and Reagan empower them, give them gun, and in India, Modi is doing the same.
So let's shift gear. Recently, as I was coming here, I read the news that President President Ghani of Afghanistan has refused an invitation to come to Pakistan. At the same time, we've seen yesterday an Afghan forces fired in Pakistan and killed census workers across the border in Pakistan. So things are not going in the right direction between Afghanistan and Pakistan. Ms. let me start with you. How do you see this?
Well, it is very interesting that Pakistan already told them that this time our census people will be there. Even then they were shot at. And until Pakistan retaliated, they did not talk. When Pakistan retaliated, then the DGMOs contacted, and then Pakistan told them that we already told you guys that we will be there, you still should...
Is it the Durand Line issue?
Well,
I mean, it could be the anger due to the Durand Line. They probably don't want to count those people.
Durand Line is very interesting. They don't want to resolve. They say, Afghan leadership says that we will find from Afghan people. But how they will find out? They go house to house and find out. They do some referendum, find out. I mean, they are not even doing it. That shows that they are not interested in this thing, and they want to keep this status quo going on.
And then we saw the revelation of Ahsanullah making all those claims against Indian Afghan government.
I will keep it out. I will not going to give any reward to Ahsanullah that we all know that they are doing it, And Ahsanullah, these guys were hiding there. We all know that. I mean, where is Fazlullah? Where are these people? They are all there.
I know they're all there, but being supported by Afghan forces is a huge allegation.
You never heard it before.
Ahsanullah has simply corroborated what has been said before by several people,
sources,
including the former Defense Secretary of the United States,
Right.
Chuck Hagel. So we know that they're doing it.
Right.
As far as this particular incident is concerned, I think there is a lot of frustration and desperation in Afghanistan. Basically, they're losing the war. They're in bad shape. Most of Afghanistan has already slipped out of their hands. They have a few places where they can exercise some power, and border area is one of those places where they think they can go kill a few people and assert, that they are still, ruling Afghanistan. But I think things are rapidly disintegrating in Afghanistan. Things are sliding down, and Obama administration has really not done or said anything about what they're going to do. They're so focused on other world crises that.
Oh, you mean Obama or Trump
The
administration?
Trump administration. They have done nothing so far.
Yeah.
The American commander there is asking for more troops.
Yeah.
There has been no decision on that. But the bottom line is, United States has been there for 16 years. And the kind of discussion that is happening is still the same discussion that has been happening for at least the last decade. Should we send more troops? Should we do this? Should we do that?
Same situation in Iraq.
Exactly. But I'm just telling you that this is the failure of American policy.
In Afghanistan, right?
Huge failure. You can blame it on anybody.
Yeah.
Now they're blaming it on everybody, basically. They're blaming it on Pakistan, they're blaming it on Russia, they're blaming it on Iran. But the problem is that they have to fix it.
Yeah. See, that
Which one?
is the point last show I was raising, that even now the solutions come, they're very traditional solution. We have been hearing for last 15, 16 years, there is no solution actually.
Okay, keep US aside. Why can't Pakistan and Afghanistan, the two neighbors, solve their issues within themselves?
Well, it's a problem there because when he came, he tried to be nice with Pakistan, but the thing is that it is not that simple. He was under severe pressure, from other sides and all that. See, in that one, they overtly expected from Pakistan, and Pakistan for no reason gave them too much hopes.
Okay.
So both sides did mistake. They should not do that. But problem is not that. See now this incident when he said that he would not visit Pakistan. ISI chief talked to them. Pakistan Army chief talked to them. Pakistan is trying to be. I am a critic of Pakistan's Afghan policy, as you know, as Riaz knows too. But the thing is that I am seeing Pakistan is trying to be nice with that, and right away when this incident happened, they made contact with them, and when he talked to them, then a high-level delegation went there, who met with a lot of high officials in Afghanistan. They all came very happy and all that, and suddenly this thing came.
Yes.
So that
Not
shows
very
that
welcome.
there is some
Concluding
problem.
remarks.
Yeah, I think the Afghan government is making itself more and more irrelevant. I mean, already, they have no control over Afghanistan. I mean, even if they agree to do something, do you think they have the ability to implement it? They don't.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Audience, thank you, Misbah. Thank you, Riaz. Audience, thank you for watching Viewpoint from Overseas. We'll be back next week with new topics. Goodbye.